a moment, a memory, defining us, who we are as individuals, born into a world given the gift of life, given a name. Our names are what define us, make us who we are, which personifies and makes us so unique and one of a kind. It is the point of impact, the action in our lives that causes us to react. This point of impact defines our moments of our lives, which in time become our memories. Our moments preserve to be our memories. The greater the moment, the more we will remember when we go back to our memories. The more our senses are pulled in the moment, the more vivid the memories will be when we're approached with one of these distinct senses. It is after approaching these memories define us as the lesson learned. In life, we distinctly learn from good and bad, and the decision-making is easy. However, it is progressively harder to judge what is the greater evil between two evils, and what is the greater good between two goods. In short, life is only as hard as we make it. Four people were in a car accident. The location is Knoxville, Tennessee. To elaborate, these four people are 3 men and 1 woman. 2 men and the 1 woman are in a big budget moving truck. These 3 are moving from Garner, North Carolina to Johnston, Iowa. The last man lies under his semi-truck repairing it. He's just working, doing his job, and soon to be back on the road to finish his trucking route. To elaborate, the woman's age is 56 years old, and the 2 men are the ages 10 years old and 13 months old, and are traveling to move to a new life. The man, the semi-truck driver, is in his early 40s. These 2 groups of people do not and have not ever met each other at any point. To elaborate, the big budget moving truck is carrying a van packed to the roof on a dolly, exceeding the weight capacity. The 3 individuals in the big budget moving truck do not know this. The man underneath his semi-truck unknowingly has his semi-truck partially parked on the interstate. That interstate is I-40. To elaborate, these 2 parties share a point of impact: explosion. The individuals, the people. Recently, Michael Kellner had just been born, given the gift of life. His birthday is not hard to forget: 9/8/98, or Tuesday, September 8th, 1998. He is the son of James and Lori Kellner. Michael has an older sister, Catherine Kellner, whom they share the same parents, same father and mother. Catherine and Michael have an older brother named Sean June. Sean was completing his first 10 years of given life in 1999. His mother, like Michael and Catherine's, is Lori, but had a different father than them, whose name is Stephen June. Although they may have different fathers, they share the same grandmother. They call their grandmother Grandma Roop. Her name is Diane Roop, the mother of James Kellner, who is 56 years old in 1999. She has been living a hard-working life. Someone who has seen and experienced many things, but the only way to sum up the life and experience of a 56-year-old woman is through comprehending 56 years of dealing with life, living life. Michael Kellner, Sean June, and Diane Roop, these 3 all have many different things, but to say the least, have different names, first and last, and ages. There's someone else to be known, a man in his early 40s. He works as a semi-truck driver. His name is Christopher Zaffer. October 23rd, 1999, Michael, Sean, and Diane are in a big budget moving truck traveling down I-40. Further down I-40 lies Christopher under his semi-truck. These 2 groups do not, and have not, ever met each other at any point, but they did eventually meet. They met on October 23rd, 1999, where they collided. They met at the point of impact. The vehicles looked like 2 aluminum cans being smashed together, leaving only the passenger door of the big budget moving truck literally untouched. The individuals, the people involved, do not walk away from this moment unscratched.
The smell of baking soda, filling, expanding the airbags. That one-of-a-kind smell that you'll never forget. The static from changing the radio station with the tune dial. The creamy and gel-like combination of making a PB&J sandwich, giving a salty, sweet smell aura. Michael loved PB&J, and I made it for him every chance I got. Minutes before going through the underpass, we stopped. I made Michael PB&J, and he was so happy. A smile cheek to cheek. He was always a happy baby. He cried only when he was alone. Soon going through the underpass, Grandma Root changes the radio stations. Static in the air. Explosion. Everything turning black and white and in slow motion. Airbags exploding in this chaos, but performing as methodically as a triumphant symphony. The last moment, the last memory I have of my brother Michael is him exploding. The point of impact, through the front windshield, being cocooned in shards of glass. As I reached out to pull him back, the seatbelts lashed my hands, my arms back, and sinking into an abyss.
A 13-month-old sits in his car seat away from the pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40. The 13-month-old has one tiny scratch on the front left side of his forehead, nothing else visibly seen. His eyelids are closed. Another body, a man in his early 40s, sticks out in places of the pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40. A firefighter pulls this man's body, and his body follows, but not his head. His eyelids are closed. Two bodies, two individuals. A third body, a third individual pops up, but she picks herself up because she is a hard worker, which made her tough, resilient. She has seen and experienced many things, but this moment, this memory, point of impact, is something no age or experience can begin to comprehend, let alone wish their eyes lay on a 13-month-old in his car seat away from the pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40, along with a man in his early 40s sticking out in places of that pile of metal. She counts 1, 2, 3. Where is the fourth? Where is Sean? She takes a deep breath. With her last ounce of strength, she outstretches her arm, her finger pointing to the pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40, which used to be a semi-truck and a big budget moving truck. Sound and color flood back to this moment, this memory. The crisp, dewy Tennessee wind soaks in. Sirens from the firefighter trucks, medic cabs, and police cars swarm the scene. The blaze of the helicopter can be heard in the near distance. Shards of glass everywhere. Blood. Too much blood to see. The iron taste of blood and smell of baking soda from the air bags fill the air. Back to Diane Roop, Grandma Roop, pointing at the point of impact. At this nightmare, with her last ounce of strength, she bellows to the firefighters, "There's one more." Her last words. Her knees buckle, her body gives. Diane Roop collapses to the ground. She too has a small bloody scratch on the front left side of her forehead, like Michael. Her eyelids are closed.
A pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40, which used to be a semi-truck and a big budget moving truck. that contained Michael, Sean, Diane, and Christopher in this moment. To elaborate, there was another big budget moving truck that was trailing behind Michael, Sean, and Diane in their big budget moving truck, traveling down I-40 from Garner, North Carolina to Johnston, Iowa. The individuals in the other big budget moving truck following the other was Lori Kellner, the mother of Sean, Catherine, and Michael. Beside Lori in the cab of the big budget moving truck is Sean and Michael's sisters, Catherine Kellner. Lori and Catherine never make it through the underpass because there was a car accident. The car accident is on the other side of the underpass, where Michael, Sean, and Diane had just passed through. Immediately, cars are blocked up and jammed. Car horns honking, stress and confusion are in the air. Demands as to why we are stopping, why is nobody moving. The crisp, dewy Tennessee wind soaks in, but that is not the only thing soaking in. Fear is trickling into Lori Kellner's mind. Heart. Terrifying what-if scenarios project through her mind, intensifying the fear like gas thrown into a fire. A wild fire of sickness enters her stomach. For her, everything is in black and white and in slow motion. Impulsively, reacting, she gets out of her big budget moving truck, sprinting, feet scurrying and weaving through cars, attempting to see anything. A chance that her what-if nightmare is not a reality. Stopped and blocked by the compact vehicles. So, she climbs the rocks on the side of the underpass. There, right in front of her, in her eyes burning a forever haunting image as she reaches her hands out, trying to feel, grasp what lies in front of her, but she can't. All the colors, sounds, and motions gushing back to her as she is in her point of impact and seeing a 13-month-old, her baby boy Michael, in the car seat away from the pile of metal that heaps in the middle of I-40. A man in his early 40s sticking out in places of the heaps of metal in the middle of I-40. A 56-year-old woman, her mother-in-law, sprawled out on the pavement, and a 10-year-old, her firstborn son, Sean, being taken up into the helicopter, fading in the distance to the University of Tennessee. Flooding thoughts of what if burst and break through her mind.
Three deaths, one life. Many could say that the loss is overwhelming. Others could say a life gained is a miracle. It's all on how you see the glass, half empty or half full. Moments, memories, define us every day, challenging us in every way to rise or fall to the daily task of living life. It is how we deal with it that ultimately creates who we are and what we will do in life. Remember, in our moments of need, to always show compassion and love, because let us remember, have the memories of good versus bad, knowing you are loved and I love you.